Alright guys, I have one of the weirdest topics ever for you today on this channel. So, in front of me is a Wii game that is called Jerry Rice and Nidus's Dog Football, okay? This is a game that when it was launched was not very well received. It's a budget game, shovelware you might call it. It's just a very low quality game. However, it is a sellable game because it is a Jerry Rice football player, older football player, dog football game. Now, for me, this is sellable because one, I'm not like a hardcore football fan, but I like to watch NFL and like guys, American football, not soccer, right? So I watch NFL and I am into it, but I'm not like hardcore, you know. So it's sellable for that reason. The other reason I like on Thanksgiving when all the dogs play football, it's dog football. It's great, right? So I was like, man, this game looks like a banger. Now here's the story of how I don't just have the game. I have this game signed. Who signed it? You might ask. I have to tell you the story. So, guys, a couple weeks ago, I was doing my Nintendo podcast with a special guest on the show named Lions. It was great. Lions is awesome. And the topic of the podcast episode was we were reacting to fake Nintendo Direct leaks. So random people online will put out these fake leaks like saying, this game is going to be in the Nintendo Direct coming up soon. And it's always fake, right? So we were reacting to these fake leaks. And I made my own fake leak, but I didn't tell Lions that I made it until afterwards. And one of the games that I put on my fake leak was I said, Jerry Rice and Nidus's Dog Football will be in this upcoming Nintendo Direct, and it'll come to Switch. It was all a joke. It was never actually going to happen, right? But we got to talking about this game when it came up, right? And I know I had browsed for this game a few months before, and I didn't look into it, but I know that I had saw a signed copy of this game. I thought by Jerry Rice, okay? So I was telling Lions on the podcast, have you ever seen that they sell this game signed by Jerry Rice on eBay for like $30? And he was like, no, what? Really? So I went and looked at it, and I didn't look into it, but I bought it on the spot, okay? Because I wanted to actually own and play this game. And my impression was it was signed by Jerry Rice, okay? So pretty much what ends up happening is I order the game. 2 days later, I get a message on eBay from the seller. And they ask me, hey, I'm about to sign this game. Do you want it on the plastic here? Do you want it like on a separate card or whatever? And I'm sitting there, me thinking that this game is signed by the Jerry Rice. I knew dang well I was not messaging Jerry Rice right now, and he's asking me, he's eBay messaging me, you know, where do I want the game signed? Like, that's obviously not happening right now. So I had to re-look at the listing that I bought and see, hold on, it's not Jerry Rice who signed the game. Who signed this game? Who am I buying this game from, and who are they, and why have they signed it? So I had to like step back and really look at the listing description, and I couldn't find out who was signing it. Like I looked and I couldn't figure it out. So what happened was a few days go by. I was kind of confused. I was still under the impression that Jerry Rice had signed the game. I don't know why. I just had thought that was the case, right? And so I get it in the mail, and I look at it, and it says, Happy Gaming, Dan. Now, that's obviously not Jerry Rice. So I go back to the listing, and then I found out the person who actually signed it, it's still cool. The person who signed it was the lead game designer for this game. And I bought the game from the people who make the game. Their company is called Judo Baby. That's who I bought it from. So that listing is still on eBay right now. If you want to go and check it out and buy the same thing that I bought, you can do that. But it's my fault because I didn't look into the actual, listing. If I read more in depth, I could find out who actually signed the game. But it's a Jerry Rice game. I see a signature. Listen, guys, I'm only human. I assume it was a Jerry Rice thing, But no, this is cool. You put a little smiley face guy walking along. Dan, who helped make the game, signed it. That's always cool. That's a cool little thing. But that is how I ended up with a signed and sealed Wii game. So now it's just gonna become part of my collection. Now, the cool thing about that listing is he gives you 2 copies of the game. One to open up and one to keep sealed. So I have played the game. I understand it was a budget title. I'm sure that you're great. But I have to say what I see. It wasn't my favorite game. That's how we should word it. Dan, it doesn't suck, Dan. It's great. But it wasn't for me. I'm so mean. So I'm gonna keep this game sealed on my shelf, and Dan will always be in my memories. And I will have learned now to always look at eBay listings before you buy them. Life lesson.